Good evening and a very warm welcome indeed. I've had a bit of a nightmare on the machine tonight. I've had to go and get some of those back to front or not Nurofen to calm my nerves. It's been it's been crazy. I've just done a wonderful video for you. I really have. 7 horses for tomorrow on Saturday. 7 horses. It was a beautiful video. Told you everything about them. And say no more. The whole thing didn't load, and it's just gone into the ether somewhere up there in the clouds or whatever they call it, and it's gone missing. It's gone missing, and you know Sherlock Holmes couldn't find it, and well, there you are. It's gone missing. So I've had to do this again, and what you're seeing now is a complete amateur performance, but it's real as ever. Great to have you with me. Lovely to be with you. I don't know if this is going to work or not because you know, who knows what's going on with the forces that be. But I've got 7 horses for you running on Saturday. 3 of them are in Ireland. I know this off by heart now because I've just done it 3 times. So I know off by heart. I don't even have to think what I'm going to say. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to keep this as brief as possible. And I've got some big ammunition lined up for you on Saturday. I hope you're keeping well. And it's great to have you with me. I know there are 3 horses still to run tonight at Dundalk, and I wish you the best of luck with those 3. All have been very heavily backed. One of them 25 to 1 into 10s, one of them 12 to 1 into 15 to 2, etc. All being well backed, and not surprised with over 2,000 people calling my line each and every day. 2,500 last Saturday, and I expect nearly 3,000 will call it today for Saturday's racing. I've got 7 horses to tell you about, and all of them are big prices. Have a listen to this. 18 to 1 at York, a 9 to 1 at York, and a 14 to 1 at York. There are 3 bets, 3 massive price horses that I think have got great chances. Well, I know they have. I've got one at Chelmsford on a 10 to 1 chance, which is trained by Richard Hannon, which I know all about and has come through to me from my very, very good snout in the all-weather field. Very rarely gets it wrong, and I don't think he'll be wrong tomorrow at Chelmsford. I'll give you that as well, absolutely free of charge. And then there's 3 horses, one at Fairyhouse on a horse which has been laid out to win with no form to its name. I think it's got 7 duck eggs next to its name, 7 zeros next to its name, and 2 at the Curragh on horses in the last 2 races on the card. Big prices. And I'll pass you all those Irish horses over as well, free of charge in 1 minute. So there's 7 horses, a 7th heaven, magnificent 7, whichever way you want to call it. The Irish horses in particular, of course, have been hammering the bookmakers big time in the last couple of weeks alone. Half Nuts won at the Curragh, 18 to 1 into 11 to 1. Fairyhouse Express won at 7 to 1. That was another huge touch. Sultan Stall won on Sunday, just gone by, 16 to 1. Good Word at 18 to 1 was another big winner, backed into 2 to 1, even though there's a couple of Rule 4s, etc. Money Heights, 5 to 1 to 5 to 4. Told you when that was going to win. It duly did this week. Even though it got beat today, odds on, I wasn't on it today. I told you when to be on when it won at 5 to 1. And Conversant won at 12 to 1 into 13 to 2 also this week. All Irish winners, all very big prices. 18, 7s, 16, 18, 5 and 12. So I'll give you these 3 Irish horses in just 1 second as well. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to go into too much details about these horses for tomorrow. I'm just going to give you the horses. I'm going to put them in singles, doubles and trebles, maybe a couple of lucky 15s or a couple of trixies. There's 7 horses. They're all big prices, and I'll explain to you as we go along what's going to be happening. I'm going to start at York, and then I'll finish off with these 3 beautiful Irish races. 2 at the Curragh, which I think I've got taped. I think I've got them taped. They're both 20 horse races. One of them's a 30 horse race, but I think I've got it sussed. I think I could well come out with the winners of both of them. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. I'll be disappointed if we don't get close, that's for sure. So with all that in mind, let's just go to Chelmsford for a start. We'll come to York after that, and then we'll go over to the Curragh, and also that horse which has got 7 duck eggs running at Fairyhouse. I'll give you that one as well. The 525 at Chelmsford, not going to give you too much info. It's trained by Richard Hannon. My top all-weather man says this one is definitely one to be on. It's number 10. It's called Our Starlight, trained by Hannon, ridden by Liam Canary. It was ridden by Kieran Fallon last time and Holly Doyle the time before. Is off a winning mark of 46, no doubt, I'm told. Number 10, Our Starlight. Going to keep it brief. Ran over on the turf last time out at Brighton. As I say, reverts over at the all-weather. It has run on the all-weather before, raced in December last year at this track. and ran all right, 6 of 10, 18 to 1, was miles behind, but irrelevant really. Our Starlight's gone off at 12, 12, 12, 18 and 33 in its last 5 runs. I do believe there'll be a big punt on this tomorrow, number 10, Our Starlight, and it's an each way recommendation in the 5.25 at Chelmsford. It's your first bet of the day on the Saturday. It's not the last. I've got 6 more to give you, so we need to get on. I'll give you these 3 at Rose Pork at York right now, and then I'll give you the horses in Ireland, which I know you're hanging on tenterhooks for, because my Irish horses, as you well know, have been absolutely mopping up big time, and there's a fortune of money going on them. And not surprising when you're getting 2.5, nearly 3,000 people backing the same horses. We're backing them in from 20 to 1s into 7s. We're backing them in from 12s into 5s. You know, it's a slaughter on 10th Avenue, isn't it, for the bookmakers? And these horses tomorrow, if this lot go in, or 3 or 4 of them go in, these trebles are going to come to 1,000 to 1 minimum treble. 1,000 to 1 a minimum treble. I mean, you're talking some big bucks here. If you multiply that by how many people's calling the line, it's absolutely a massive amount of money that bookies are standing to lose, that's for sure. Okay, so let's move on quickly as possible. Go to York now for 3 races I'm interested in. The 4.25, I'm all over this one tomorrow. I really am. I'm really, really sweet on this horse. It's number 2. It's called It's Good to Laugh, or Good to Laugh, no matter, depending on how your pronunciation is. It's Good to Laugh. It's number 2, trained by Jenny Candish, and it's trained by her and ridden by David Nolan. Rather an unfashionable combination, but make no mistake, this gelding is ready to strike. Running off a mark of 89, stepping up in trip to 2 miles. It's absolutely pitch perfect, and I'm all over it. I really am all over it, and I can't see anything but this horse running a massive race and going very close. In a 0 to 90, it's come down from a 0 to 95 last time up. All the conditions suit it. The ground conditions with all the rain coming is going to suit it as well. It's number 2. It's called It's Good to Laugh, or It's Good to Laugh, in the 4.25 at York. It's your first bet of the day at the Naysmire. I think that one could well win. Very, very strong on that. It's 9 to 1 at the moment. First show. I think the horse will probably go off 11 to 2 or something. It takes a bit of money to move the market at York, but we have got a lot of more money going on these horses as a conglomerate altogether. 2.5, 3,000 people. If 3,000 people had a fiver on, it's 15 grand going on one horse. So I'm sure the average denomination's a bit bigger than that. But anyway, number 2, It's Good to Laugh. Don't miss it. 4.25 at York. I'll be on it, that's for sure. The 3.15 at York, it's Richard Fahey trained this one. It's number 17. It's called Admiral D, ridden by Uzin Orr. It's number 17, Admiral D. 22 runners go to post. It's an absolutely lickety split, really difficult race to work out. But the horse has got plenty of form to its name, and a pretty good handicap of the gelding. And off a mark of 94, I think it's got to go close. Number 17, Admiral D, is the one there in the Coral Sprint Trophy over 6 furlongs. It's going to be fast and furious. Once again, the ground conditions are fine. It's won 2 races, both on soft ground. Admiral D, typical sort that Richard Fahey will land a big handicap with. It ran well in the Argyle Cup, went 7th of 24 last time up. And I think a reproduction of that will probably win. But what I'm told from the Fahey organisation in the background, I know something a little bit sweet there, that Admiral D's come on for that rudder bundle. Number 17, Admiral D, is the one I like very much there. Very strongly fancied indeed. Of course, Richard Fahey trained a horse for me a long time ago called Mr. Sandrovich, or Sir Sandrovich, and Mr. Sandrovich was Venetia Williams. Sir Sandrovich, which won loads and loads of races. 3.15 at York, anyway, there he is. He's number 17, Admiral D. Admiral D is the one I'm backing there each way. About first 5, first 6. And I think the 3-year-old gelding's got a very, very solid chance indeed. Another horse which has got a solid chance, and it's the final horse in England before I go to these 3 Irish horses, is in the finale, the 5 o'clock. I'm very sweet on this. Keith Dalgleish trained a winner for me a couple of days ago, or yesterday, called Aberama Gold. It was on my private client's betting service, and duly won 15 to 2 into 6 to 1. That's Aberama Gold. I tipped that yesterday very heavily. And he trains a horse called Chichester in the 5 o'clock at York. I think it can win. It's a big price. It's 18 to 1 right now. Ridden by Danny Tubbo, who takes over the reins from Jim Crowley and Callum Rodriguez and Adam Kirby, who's rode it previously. But I think this horse has got an amazing chance, I really do. Off a mark of 93, it ran in a listed contest last time up and got into all sorts of trouble, boxed in by Crowley, and runs in a race 0 to 95, well within its grasp. And again, it's 18 to 1. It'll probably be backed into half of those odds. I know the Dalglish is in great form. As I say, I tipped a big winner of his yesterday, and I'll be disappointed if it doesn't go close with this one, number 1. It's called Chichester in the 5 o'clock at York. Okay, that's all the English racing. Let's go over to Ireland now for these 3 pieces of information. One of them's very sweet indeed. I'm going to start with this horse at Fairyhouse. And it's a very interesting horse indeed. By the way, if you're new to the line, I'm online nightly at 6 o'clock for the following day's racing. So 6 o'clock each night for the following day's racing. So Friday night 6 o'clock to tip Saturdays, Saturday 6 o'clock to tip Sundays, and so forth and so on. As I say, Irish racing's been amazing for the last 2.5 years. I've tipped more winners than anybody breathing on YouTube or anywhere else, and mainly double-digit prices as well. Average price 10 to 1 in Ireland. You've only got to look at the last 2 weeks' results. Half Nuts won at 18 to 1, Furliet Express 7s, Sultan Stall 16s, Good World 18s, Money Heights 5 to 1, and Conversant 12 to 1, all in the last 13 days. Speaks volumes, doesn't it? I'm sure you'll agree. Okay, so go to Fairyhouse, then go to the 505, and the horse I'm very interested in there is number 5, and it's called The Goose is Cooked. The Goose is Cooked. A bit of a Christmas tune to it, isn't it? The Goose is Cooked, and when you add up that it's got 5 duck eggs next to its name, 8, 13, 9, 7 and 10, nil, 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 there we go. The Goose is Cooked, ridden by O'Keefe for Mullins, Anthony Mullins. I like the look of this one very much indeed. She's a lovely mare. She runs off a mark of 91. And the message I'm getting through is she's absolutely slunging, and she could be potentially an handicap certainty. Sounds strange, doesn't it? No. But number 5, The Goose is Cooked, is very much the apple of my eye. And it's a great mare who's got a great chance in a race which has got 16 runners go to post in an 80 to 95. Very, very ordinary winnable handicap. Incidentally, one of the horses in it, Burliet Express, is going to be one of the favourites, is a horse I tipped you a week last Friday, which won at 7 to 1. And I'm not tipping that one today. I'm tipping The Goose is Cooked. And it's number 5. And it runs in the 505 at Fairyhouse, which leaves 2 horses, both at the Curragh, 2 races anyway. I'll tell you what I'm going to do in these. I'm going to let you into a very, very clever bet indeed, and it's this bet which I think will come up trumps for us. There's 2 races taking place, the 4:55 and 5:30. They're the final 2 races on the card at the Curragh. And remember, 2 weeks ago at the Curragh, I gave you 3 bets, 3 payouts. One of them won at 18 to 1, one of them paid out each way at 16 to 1, and the other one paid out at 12 to 1, backed off the boards. So Curragh has been kind to me. Now then, there's 2 horses in each of these 2 races that I think have got an amazing chance, and they're both going to be huge prices. So you can afford to back them both, and I'll be disappointed if we don't come out smelling of roses after these 2 races. So I'm going to back them both each way, and I'm also going to have an each way cross the card double with them both as well in the 4:55 and the 5:30 at the Curragh. So moving on, if you don't understand what I'm doing, let me just tell you again. I'm going to back 2 horses in the 4:55. They're both each way, and they're both big prices. Number 1, it's called In From the Cold. It's got 9 zeros next to its name. Number 1, In From the Cold. And number 13 on the card in the same race is called Chaos Control. It's got 3 zeros next to its name. So number 1, In From the Cold, and number 13, Chaos Control. I'm not going to go on about them because there's no need. They've got a series of noughts between them. They've got 12 noughts next to the names. I think they've got an amazing chance tomorrow, and I'm backing them both each way. And I think one of them could well wink at the judge, and I think the other one could be in the frame as well. I'll be disappointed if we don't come out, as I say, with a healthy profit from that particular race. And if you think that's good, go to the finale on the card, the 5:30 at Curragh, and we'll do the same again with another 2 horses in this race, both at huge prices. There are about 30 runners go to post for this one, and I've narrowed it down to 2. One of them is number 13. It's called Sounds of Spring, ridden by Billy Lee. Number 13, Sounds of Spring. And the other one is a horse I tipped you the other day, and it was pulled out and didn't run. but I did tip the winner of the race, and that's number 27, Marky Vitz. Number 27, Marky Vitz, trained by Sheila Lavery, ridden by Declan the Enforcer McDonough. Number 27, Marky Vitz, is another horse in that race which I think's got a brilliant chance at a huge price. Could be 20, 25 to 1. So I'm going for 2 horses in that. That's number 13 on your card, which is called Sounds of Spring, a horse not to be missed each way. And number 27, Marky Vitz, is my other horse that I'm very, very sweet on indeed in that race. I've given you 7 bets there across all over the place. At York, at Chelmsford, at Fairyhouse, and at the Curragh. I'm going to have singles, doubles, trebles. Going to put them in all sorts of accumulators and Trixies and Lucky 15s and Uncle Tom Cobley and all. I wish you the very best of luck. The last few Saturdays have been absolutely brilliant. The last few days have been brilliant. Let's keep it brilliant. Keep it there. Keep it with me, and I will keep it with you. Let's win.